Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. This is Jim Malone. And, today it looks as if the market started out kind of weak and then it did come back as of late. So I did make some buys today. I did kind of trim some positions as well. One of the positions that I did trim today, interestingly enough, was Tesla. I just was looking at it, and I did really didn't go either way. So I decided, well, I think I better trim here a little bit. I definitely did trim Tesla today, and it's up after hours about to 1090. I'm really kind of waiting for it to move past about 1100 to really get excited about it. But my screens are telling me that right now it looks as if the things to be in is the oils, and so I definitely have moved in that direction. Just want to kind of go down the major indexes here. The Dow Jones was up slightly. S&P was up very nicely. NASDAQ and the Russell 2000, and also the IBD 50. So, the market just kind of it moved up very nicely, kind of slow but sure today, and kind of coming into the weekend here. Just wanted to show you the results of the ETF strategy. This is the strategy where when the market turns to a confirmed uptrend, you buy a ETF such as the QQQ. This is the one I did buy. You come if it's a confirmed uptrend, you're 100% in the stock, and it's up. And it's up. It kind of show you the sort of the progress. We started on March 16th, and today we're down a little bit. We kind of got our peak for return on Wednesday. But here's the thing: I do expect as long as the QQQs continue to move higher, we should have good results with this particular strategy. Here is a chart of the Qs. Here's the live chart of the Qs. And as you can see, we came all the way up basically. This is one of the reasons why I'm starting to look at seriously, reducing my exposure in some of my tech stocks. This is kind of what it's telling me. We on Monday, we came up and we closed above the 200-day line, but we've been turned back on the Qs thereabouts. So it seems as if even though the market is going up, we seem to be much more evenly distributed between some of the tech stocks and some of the oil stocks. And so I'm trying to kind of rebalance my portfolio more towards the oils. Wanted to show you the stock of the day. This is the IBD stock of the day, but it's very indicative of kind of what we've been talking about. And that is Shell, SHEL. This is at a buy point right now, 56.23 buy point. Currently, when this slide was taken, it was at 55.72. But let's look at the live chart and see if we could enter Shell here. We're basically right at the buy point, so this might be for Monday. This might make some sense. This might make some sense for you to take a look at, and that would be Shell, and we're right below this 56.13 buy point. We sort of am coming into a tight period, but it does look like everything is pretty well set up for this. The checklist on this stock is 89. The only thing it really isn't passing on is earnings per share, and I think that's due to go up as well. We have very nice, it's coming right up into this pattern, this flat base pattern. So it's also in the right sector of the market. Currently, the integrated oil and gas companies are 9 out of 197. Of course, this has all the big integrated companies in there, such as Shell, of course, ExxonMobil, and Chevron. These are all in there. But Shell is set up very, very nicely. Definitely could take a look at possibly, moving into this one if you're looking for a stock to kind of buy at this point. It's been a kind of an interesting way to go. I did buy a stock today based on some news, and I typically don't do that as much, but this one was a company that you may have heard of. It's got a long and storied past, It's a oil company called Sinclair, and the symbol for Sinclair is the brontosaurus. So it's kind of a cool symbol. It's a small to mid-sized refiner. They do a lot of diesel refining, primarily in the West. They have refineries in Wyoming, also in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they are going to be moving their headquarters, it looks like, to Dallas, another company. It's amazing. Dallas is just picking up all these Fortune 500 companies. This isn't a huge oil company as they go, but it's still pretty significant. I did buy this one. It is up today just slightly. It closed at $39.89. So let's go over to that stock. The stock symbol is Dino, D-I-N-O. Kind of a cute symbol there. It merged with the Apache and let's see, what's the name of it? It was, I think, Apache. I can't remember exactly the company that it merged with here in Dallas, but the headquarters are going to be moving here to Dallas. I did purchase a half position at $39.23. We're up a little bit. $39.89 is where we're at. We're right below this this consolidation, and the consolidation is at $42.39. So we're buying it a little bit early. Hopefully that it's not bought too early, but we're trying to get a little bit of a jump on it as it moves up to that consolidation point. On the technicals, right now it finished the day at 38. It finished the day up about 3.6% above the 10-day line. So I'm pretty confident buying usually within 5% of that 10-day line is typically a good place to buy it. But we'll see. You can never tell. On the pattern rec again, it's just below that pivot, about 6%. The pivot on this is 42.39, and this is an oil stock, of course. And let's kind of check in with the checklist. It's pretty good. It's an 89 checklist, kind of like the checklist for Shell. Also looking very good. The only thing it's really falling down on is the earnings per share. Just want to come and go over to the fundamentals and take a look there to see kind of what we're seeing in terms of the earnings per share. Now, the sales have been going up consistently for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, and we're coming into a period very shortly when basically on May 5th is when they're going to be reporting. They're going to be reporting. There was abnormal action on this stock today, and I think primarily it has to do with this is the day that the merger was consummated between Sinclair and I think it's Apache, and I can't remember the name of the other company. But anyways, it will be a refining company. They refine a lot of diesel, also the biodiesel. This is an area I think that is going to see a lot of continued interest. Why? Because, of course, with all this inflation, everything moves by truck. And of course, those trucks are all fueled with diesel. So that's something that we have to kind of take a look at in terms of where that's coming from. Marathon Petroleum, one of the other companies that I have in the oil sector, that also is a large refiner of diesel. So that's kind of, I've been looking at this diesel area. I do think we're going to see some very high diesel prices, and the diesel refiners should be the ones to benefit from this. I hope that my thinking is right on that. But anyways, I'm buying with that in mind. Again, this is Dino, which is Sinclair, and then also I do have Marathon Petroleum, which is also interesting. Taking a look at the small portfolio, another one of my oils that I have, I bought Hess, and I have increased the position size in this. I have about a quarter of the small portfolio in Hess. I've had it for about 15 days. We're up about 5.81%. So that is looking fairly good in terms of where we're at. Hess is also a mid-sized integrated international oil company, and they do a lot of business in diesel. So that's kind of been my theme. Arista Networks, that's one of the few techs that I have that's doing well, up 7.53% in 15 days. So looking pretty good on that. ANET, A-N-E-T, is the symbol there. Also, I do have Berkshire Hathaway. Of course, that's Warren Buffett's company. Everybody knows about Berkshire. We're up about 6.70% in about 20 days on that one. So that's kind of looking good. That's sort of a safety play. Also, I'm in a company called Joe, and that is St. Joseph Company. And what this is a land company based in Florida. They're the largest private landholder in Florida. So that is also up about 3.29% in 10 days. Not looking too bad. Quanta Services, that's another one that I do have as well. That's an oil service company, up about 1% in about 9 days. Not as well as I'd like, but hey, you got to take it good with the bad. Sinclair again, this is the one I talked about, symbol DINO. Just bought this one today, half a position. We're up about 0.8%. We didn't have a complete day. Haven't held this one for a day yet, so we're up nicely on this one. Also, in the small portfolio, you'll notice there's no tech in the small portfolio right now. To round it out, the last piece that I have in here, one that I did buy on Thursday, and that was Golden Ocean Group. That's a shipping line, a bulk shipper. They do ship oil, and to kind of see the theme there. They're up about 1% in 3 days. So that kind of gives you a look-see, a look-see kind of at, where I'm at in terms of the small portfolio. Now, of course, I do have some tech in some of the other portfolios, but I am emphasizing oil companies just based on, my research. That seems to be where the money in the market is going. And, it's just kind of that way. Here's everything that I own across all my portfolios, and I manage several portfolios here. Berkshire Hathaway, of course, we talked about that one. Quanta Services, Hess, Arista Networks. I'm in the Qs, the QQQ. This is sort of how I'm handling my exposure to tech. I'm buying the QQQs rather than any individual thing. Why? Because it just isn't performing as well, but I want to keep the toe in the water. That's why I'm in the Qs for the tech. The tech is the NASDAQ 100 is covered by the QQQ. So that's sort of my tech exposure. I do have also Juniper Networks. I did trim my position there. I'm glad I did. It's pulled back. And I did sell my position in AOSL, Alpha and Omega Semiconductor. I'm out of that one. And that does appear here. I didn't have time to remove it from the list. Joe, of course, is doing well, just kind of plodding along there. I do have some tech, and the two tech that I really have are OVV. This is not a tech. This is another oil company, OVV. That one's up as well. Rambus, I'm still in. That's one of the few techs that I haven't been shaken out of. That's down a little bit today. I may be eliminating that one. I don't know. I don't want to get totally tech. What I'm likely to do is go more oil and then just use the index funds like the QQQ to cover my tech exposure. Marathon Petroleum, it's down slightly today, but it's up overall. That's MPC. This is also a very large diesel refiner. That's kind of in my look-see there. I did reduce my position in Tesla. I'm still in Tesla, but I did decide to reduce the position just based on kind of a look at it. I reversed my position by about half on Tesla, selling today, and then slight profit, but nothing big at all. About a $10 a share profit. Really not a lot, but I did reduce my position in Tesla, waiting kind of for it to move above that critical 1100 price, and if it does, then I'll probably be back in stronger with that one. Also, Transocean, at the end of the day, we were up on this one. This is a bulk carrier. I get shellacked on Dutch Brothers. It pulled back hard yesterday. I didn't have my stop set in correctly, so I ended up holding it. Well, maybe it'll turn out to be good because it's up after hours. Also have Valco Energy. This is also in the energy sector. It is up as well. And then, of course, we're talking about Sinclair, and I just bought that one today. That is also an energy stock. Let's take a look really quick at Bros. And I'm going to look at the live chart here for Bros. The thing with Bros is we had this tremendous pullback yesterday, all the way down to the 21-day line, and we've seemed to have gotten some support there. My stop was just slightly below that 21-day line. It was basically at the 50-day line. Did not go all the way down to that level, but I'm still in it. I wasn't shaken out, but boy, I bought up here at about 64, and we're at 56. So quite a bit of an $8 drop, basically in one day. So hopefully we'll get we'll get bros strengthening up here. That one, hopefully I'll be able to stay into the issue because I do like it. I mean, I think that, they may give Starbucks a run for their money. All right. Before we get to the questions, just wanted to put up my watch list for everybody. And this is easy to get free. And all it is, you just go to https://bit.ly/DTF, that's Dallas Trading Floor 0101, and you can get that. You can get that right away. By the way, if you're looking on TikTok, super easy. Just go to the profile, click on the link, first and last name, and an email address. You'll get on our action trade alerts, and you can also take a look at the March 2022 watch list, ready list, and that's available. Just click one of the buttons, and you'll be able to take a look at that. So let me turn back on my mic. My mic was off there for a second. So we're going to take a look at MNRL. This is mineral, and this is definitely a stock that's in the buy zone. It is an ETF, so it is a number of stocks together, but it looks fairly good. It's moved above the 25.49 buy point, so that's looking good. in terms of that. Let's take a look at the checklist on this one. Very good checklist, 89%. So this is looking totally buyable at this point. I want to kind of look at the technicals on this one. We are about 6% above the 10-day line. So while this is a little extended, it is in a buy zone. So this is absolutely buyable as this stands. So I think that you might have a winner here, and this is definitely buyable. So I would definitely take, this one. You could definitely buy this Brigham Minerals, and the miners have doing very, very well. This also has royalty interests in oil and gas, and I do like that, especially in this market, because it has been a market for oil and gas, and that's a good one. All right, was this an April Fool's rally? Good question. Thoughts on MRO and Exxon Mobil. These are both good, by the way. Let's take a look at Exxon Mobil. Of course, that's the big kahuna. I'm not in it, but it's a good stock, and it's a dividend play. It's been around for about 130 years, and the only thing about this one is to buy it at the right juncture. That's the key on this. 96 relative strength, so very, very strong. I had a bull put spread on this one earlier. I closed it for a profit. This stock has been very good to me, and so I definitely like it a lot. The only issue right now is that we are above the buy point. The buy point was way back here at 66.38, and it's moved up there since then. So really, we're in a profit-taking zone. So I like Exxon Mobil. It's just not a good entry for Exxon right here. So Exxon definitely is a watch list, but you want to possibly wait until there's a better opportunity in terms of an entry point on Exxon Mobil. With Marathon Oil, now remember, there's two Marathon Oils. I'm in the refiners, which I think is the better choice. It's also the more expensive one. And then there's the oil company. There's MRO, and then there's MPC, and they're both Marathon Oil. They're two separate companies, but they're essentially related. With Marathon Oil, it's in the oil and gas integrated area, 9 out of 197. So it's very strong. It's a strong it's a strong position. MRC, the one I have, that's actually the refiner and the gas stations. So I'm in the one with the gas stations and the refiners because I'm looking at making a play on diesel fuel because of all this inflation. Now, can we buy this one? Again, great stock here. It just is not in a good position to buy it. That's the main problem. Checklist is excellent. Technicals are excellent. The only thing here is it's not really at a buy point. And that's something that you don't want to buy this one probably right now. You want to watch it, but you don't want to buy it. The reason is because it is extended. So here's the thing about the Marathon MRO. It is extended, and that's the thing. It's the right stock, but you can buy the right stock, but you can buy it at the wrong time. And I think it's a little bit too extended here. I want to see it pull back at least to the 21-day line before you buy it. If it pulls back to about 24 or so, then you could possibly move into a position with it. Right now, it's a little bit too extended above that 21-day line. Let's look at MPC. That's Marathon Petroleum. That's the same idea, but this one is right at the buy zone, and that's something that you might want to consider. I've been buying MPC right from basically the buy point on it at 81.39 up. It's currently at 84.50. So if this might be an alternative, this might be an alternative. So MPC might be an alternative. So that's something that you could definitely possibly look at for that would be MPC. It's Marathon Petroleum, but again, it's just the refiners and the gas stations, and that one is doing well, and that's at a Buyable. That is at a buy point right now, and you definitely could buy that one as well. So not a bad one there as well. So oils have been doing great, and definitely definitely think. What were the big winners in March? Your thoughts on Riot, and unfortunately crypto and Riot and all this stuff, it's wonderful, but you know what? That's not what the market is telling us. The market is telling us oil. The market is telling us oil. It's just, and it's hard to be in the cyclicals because believe me, I'm much more comfortable in the growth stocks than I am in the cyclicals, but that's just not what the market is telling us. The market is telling us that there's a move away from tech, and we just have to respect that. That's where the money in the market is moving. Let's kind of take a look to see which industry groups are doing the very best. Believe me, it's not tech. I wish it was, but currently, at least, we have essentially been in a tech, not in a tech downtrend, but sort of a tech drought here for quite a while. I've tried to push back into tech, just have not been successful. Where I have been successful is in the oil and gas, and so let's kind of go over some shares that are in the oil and gas area. Here, this is the number one sector in the economy right now in terms of the stock market, and that's the oil and gas international E&P companies. And as you can see, it's in the 99th percentile. That means in the top 1%. And this is where the money is flowing in the market. The top stocks here basically are Valco Energy. This is the one I talked about, EGY. Also, we have OVV. I'm in OVV as well. I'm not in Oxy. I sold it for profit. This is where Hess is. Hess is in there. Also Shell and the like. So there are opportunities, but not so much in some of the tech stocks, unfortunately. This is where you want to be, and I'm moving even stronger into some of the oils. Here's one that is a cheapie that I did buy into on Tuesday, and that was this one. I didn't buy a whole lot. I only bought 250 shares, but basically this is under $10 stock, and it's performing pretty darn good. It's called Valco Energy, VAALCO Energy, symbol EGY. So this one is set up very, very nicely. I don't know if it's going to go higher, but basically on the charts, it's looking pretty darn good. The checklist is basically 89%. On the technicals, we're basically 4% above the 10-day line, which is not a bad place to buy it, considering it's in the number one sector. So there are cheap stocks out there that are potentially looking pretty darn good. But right now, Riot Blockchain and all this, I just would stay away from them because, I've been trying to push back into this area very, very hard. I haven't really been all that successful with the techs as of late, as of about the last month or so. And I have been focusing on oils because that's where I'm getting the best results. All right, let's look at DK. Jeet wants to take a look at DK. And let's see how we're doing there. This is a petroleum refiner. I'm liking that. We're right at a buy point. So this one is oil and gas refining and marketing, 20 out of 197. So you're definitely looking in the right place. You're definitely looking in the right place, Cheat. So yeah, this is definitely the kind of stock that you want to be looking at. Not a terrifically expensive stock, $22.19 is where it ended up. It's above. It's coming right up to the correct buy point. The correct buy point is $22.19. It's currently $22.19, so it's right at the pivot. So this one is this is buyable right now, and you're definitely looking at the right thing. So DK is at the buy point. So that, it's definitely buyable right here. You don't want to buy it too far above this. I mean, you only want to buy it from about 12.19 up to really only about 23.50. You don't want to buy it any more higher than that, or you'll be buying an extended. Let's see, you want to buy it from here up to maybe about 23.30. Excuse me, I was speaking off the top of my head, but 23.30. That might work for this one. It's looking fairly good. Let's look at the monthly chart. I want to kind of see the general overall trend here. This has been in a downward trend until fairly recently. And of course, we're looking here at the monthly chart. So this has been in a downward trend, but it did break that downward trend basically about a week ago. So this is definitely actionable here. You could buy this one, and I don't think that it would be a bad buy in this particular market environment. In this particular market environment, they are going to be having earnings here, though. And this is one little red flag on April 20th. But we still have about 3 weeks before earnings. This one was up 65% last quarter, and it does look like it's starting to become profitable. There's cash flow on this one. 67% of this stock is owned by funds. So that is significant, but the PE ratio, this is just coming profitable, and it's basically refining and fuel. So not a bad place to be. It's not going to be it's not a revolutionary product, that's for sure. I mean, it's oil and gas, but I think that I think it's going to be. I think that's going to be good. I think I took care of this. Hopefully, sorry about that. I sometimes have. Sorry, I did that wrong there. Thank you for taking that. What happened to the semiconductor sector? Gosh, I wish I knew. I wish I had a good answer for you. But GFS and GFS and the other ones just not looking very good right now. It's just I'm stepping back a little bit from the semiconductor sector. I'm basically, just going with the QQQ to get exposure to the sector. So, it's tough. I mean, I think that, we're just going to have to take a step back, wait for some more strength in the semis. All right. Probably the last question here. This is from Jay. Thank you very much, Jay. Take a look at Walmart, WMT, and see how we're looking there. This one, I'm a little bit dubious on the retail sector outside of oil and gas. Why? Because of inflation. I think people are going to have to cut back, and this one is starting to make a move towards a buy point. So there is a legitimate buy point on this one, and we're coming up to it. But I'm not totally sold on the sector. It's still doing pretty well, 46 out of 197. So that's not looking bad. Major retailers. And if you're going to be in the retailers, this is the one you probably want to be in. But it only has a 67% checklist, and I'm not as excited in terms of where it's at. Currently, we are about 1% to the buy point on this one on a flat base. The buy point on this one is 52.57. So currently we're at 50. We're at 151. The buy point on this one, I misspoke. The buy point on this one is 152.57. So we're almost there, about 1% away from the buy point on Walmart. Now, could you buy it here? I'm not so excited about it. I probably would pass on it, but it is set up fairly good. So I definitely think you definitely could buy it. I probably will not be a buyer of Walmart, but it's not a bad stock, and it's not in a bad area. Well, thank you very much for taking a look at the show today. I'm going to be back, obviously, I'll be back on Monday, and we'll be back on Monday at 5 o'clock, going through your stocks, and we'll get everyone taken care of there. So here's the thing: if you're not already on the Action Trade Alerts, super easy to do. Just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com. and first and last name and an email address, and we'll get you set up there. And it's free, by the way. Also, if you're looking on TikTok, just go to that profile and first and last name and an email address. So happy weekend, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And I'll be back. I'll see you back here at 5 o'clock on Monday afternoon. Happy trading.